We've got Juan Benitez, who writes, enjoying She-Hulk. Appreciate you bailing on it. Bad for mental health to watch something you're not enjoying. More YouTubers should bail on shows they're not enjoying instead of descending into toxicity just for views. And by the way, you sent in $20. Thank you for supporting us on that level, man. See, that is my basic philosophy, Juan. And what I encourage more YouTubers to do. If you don't like something, listen, I loved the way She-Hulk started. I loved episode 1 of She-Hulk. And there have certainly been moments in She-Hulk that I've really enjoyed. I don't care what anybody says. The twerking scene in She-Hulk, that episode, was fucking awesome. It was hilarious. F anybody. But, you know, it didn't work for everybody, but it certainly worked for me. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. But I started saying a few weeks ago, my one concern is that it's not funny. Yeah, like the Madison moment was really funny. The twerking scene was super funny. There have been a few moments, but we're like 5 or 6 episodes in, and we can only count like 4 or 5 big funny moments. There should be 4 or 5 big funny moments per episode. And so here's my philosophy of it. To me, when I see something I don't like, let's take example, the Joe Coy movie, Easter Sunday, which I was really super excited about because Joe Coy is my favorite comedian. So take Easter Sunday, for example. I was super excited about it. He's my favorite comedian. Went to go watch it. It's the worst movie of the year. Okay. So I did a review for it, and I said, I really didn't like this. Personally, I think it's the worst movie of the year. And then you know what I did? I moved on. I didn't make a series of 8 videos about all the different ways Easter Sunday sucks. I didn't go on a 5-week rampage of posting thumbnails with Joe Coy with big red eyes and tears coming out of their eyes. Oh God, I'm so over the fucking losers who do that. Anyway, have the tears coming out of their eyes like every single fucking thumbnail and blah, blah. You know what I did? I got on my channel. I said, saw Easter Sunday, didn't like it. For me personally, it's the worst film of the year. I was super excited about it, but it's quite bad. And then once I did that, I moved on to talk about things I like. With something like She-Hulk, it's like, okay, I was in there. I love the concept. I like the character. I like Tatiana Maslany, but for me, the show is not funny. So you know what I did? Instead of going week after week, just going, this show isn't funny. This show isn't funny. This show isn't funny. Instead of doing that, I just decided to get on my show and say, you know what, guys? I'm tapping out of She-Hulk because I'm not enjoying it anymore. It had a great, strong start for me, but I'm not enjoying it anymore simply because it's a comedy and it's not funny to me. And then guess what? I move on so I can focus on things I like. And we as a fandom can focus on celebrating the things we like. I'm not saying ignore if something is bad. No, like if I saw Easter Sunday, I review it. I say this is a bad movie. But once I say it, I don't need to say it 50 more times. I don't need to make 12 more videos about it. Now, if somebody brings it up and asks me about it, I'll give an answer, but I'm not going to title 15 more videos about Reason 75 why Easter Sunday sucks. Move on. John Schnepp used to say, fandom is supposed to be about us collectively celebrating the things we love. Not being a dark corner where we can gather together and just hate on something as much as we possibly can. And I know there's like hundreds of sites out there now. It honestly bothers me, the state of YouTube fandom right now. Because there's hundreds of sites out there that are just hate click shills. Like, they will just shill for, like, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about this. I think out of these hundreds of these channels now, who just like, they know they can get quick, easy clicks if they just put up some hateful thumbnail. Why this sucks. This person is this. And like all that kind of stuff, right? There's hundreds of them. I'm not talking about any one particular channel because there's hundreds of them now because people have recognized that it's so easy to get real quick, simple clicks by being as hateful as you can. And the funny thing is that I think a lot of these hate click shills that are out there that are just put out the most provocatively hateful thing you can because you know that's going to get easy clicks. So they just shill themselves out to get the easiest hate clicks that they can. And the saddest thing to me is I think a lot of these hate channels, I don't actually think they are racist or homophobic or chauvinistic. I honestly think that most of the people that run these channels are not racist themselves, are not homophobic themselves, and are not chauvinistic themselves. But they are such shills for the hate clicks that they are more than happy to be a home for racists. They may not be homophobic themselves, but they're such sellouts for the easy clicks that they're more than happy to be the home for homophobes. They may not be chauvinists themselves, but they're such whores for the easy hate clicks that they're more than willing to be the home, a very comfortable home for racists, and a very comfortable home for homophobes, and a very comfortable home for chauvinists. They may themselves, away from their YouTube channels, may not actually be racist themselves in real life or homophobic themselves in real life, but they're such whores and shills for the hate clicks that they're more than willing to say, hey, racists and homophobes, our channel is a perfectly comfortable home for you. If you are a racist and homophobe and all that kind of stuff, our content will be very, very comfortable for you. And that's they're such whores, they might as well just bend over, put their ass up and say, see my pucker hole? And put a little for rent sign over their pucker hole. They're such shills for the easy hate clicks and you can just tell, and they have to up it, right? So the hate vitriol has to get harder and harder and harder and harder. And they got the little for rent sign right over their pucker hole. And it says, we're open for business. We're open for business. Come on in. And I think that if you're a creator, and again, I'm not talking about any, don't start saying, oh, John's talking about this channel. I'm not. It's just that there's hundreds of them out there now because people have realized how easy it is to get the hate clicks. But I just think if you're a creator, regardless of whether or not you think you are racist or homophobe or whatever, I think you got to recognize that if you're blog or your podcast or your YouTube channel has become the home of choice for racists and homophobes and chauvinists, I think you have to do some reevaluating. I just think you have to do some reevaluating. And I think it's damaging the thing. Listen, we're all going to watch stuff. Stuff is subjective. All art is subjective. And we're all going to see things we don't like. I just think instead of trying to be destructive to the fan community and finding something you don't like and then try to build communities around what we collectively hate, say if there's something you don't like, say it, and then move on and become a community that just celebrates what we love. But that's not easy. It's not easy to do things that way. It's a lot quicker and simpler. It's like when Yoda talks about the light side and the dark side. When Luke asks, is the dark side more powerful? Yoda's like, no, it's quicker, it's easier, it's more seductive. You can get real quick, easy things. Believe me, I know when I do these angry rants, which I'll do once a month, I'll some angry rant. Believe me, I recognize my numbers are up. So I recognize. So I've had people tell me, John, you should do an angry rant video every day. It's nah, because that's not what I want to be. Once in a while, something happens that really gets our blood boiling and we should express it. But once we express it, we should move on. But anyway, it's just kind of that's the end of my soapboxing for now.